Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Time Lord Archive. In today's video, we'll be remembering American celebrities who have sadly passed away in recent days, as well as honoring other notable figures from around the world. Before we begin, we'd greatly appreciate it if you could show your support by giving this video a like. It truly helps the channel and means a great deal to us. Thank you. And now, let's get started. Eddie Palmieri, the legendary pianist, composer, and trailblazer of Latin music, has died at the age of 88. Born in Spanish Harlem to Puerto Rican parents, Palmieri began playing piano at just 11 and made his debut at Carnegie Hall soon after. By 14, he had formed his first band and went on to work with icons such as Johnny Sequi and Tito Rodriguez before founding his groundbreaking ensemble, La Perfecta, in 1961. Celebrated for his daring fusion of salsa and Latin jazz, Palmieri's percussive piano style and fearless blending of genres made him a defining force in Latin music. Across a career spanning more than 6 decades, he released landmark albums including Vámonos Pa'lante and The Son of Latin Music, the latter becoming the first Latin album ever to win a Grammy Award. In total, Palmieri earned 10 Grammys and received some of the highest honors in the industry, including the NEA Jazz Masters Award and the Latin Recording Academy's Lifetime Achievement Award. He collaborated with fellow legends like Tito Puente, Israel Cachao Lopez, Alfredo Chocolate Armenteros, and Bobby Valentin, leaving an indelible mark on the genre's evolution. Palmieri is survived by his daughters Gabriela, Renee, Eddie, and Alana, his son Edward Palmieri II, and 4 grandchildren. His influence, creativity, and passion will continue to inspire generations of musicians and fans worldwide. Brandon Blackstock, a respected talent manager and former husband of singer Kelly Clarkson, has passed away at the age of 48, following a private 3-year battle with cancer. His family confirmed that he died peacefully on August 7th, surrounded by loved ones. Although he chose to keep his diagnosis private, Clarkson revealed earlier this year that he had been unwell and had stepped back from his work in Las Vegas to devote himself fully to caring for their children. River, 11, and Remington, 9. Married to Clarkson from 2013 until 2020, Blackstock was a prominent figure in the music industry, and also the father of daughter Savannah and son Seth from a previous marriage. His illness occasionally led Clarkson to take absences from The Kelly Clarkson Show, with guest hosts stepping in during her time away. Known for his deep commitment to both his family and the artists he managed, Blackstock leaves behind a legacy of dedication, resilience, and quiet strength. His loved ones have expressed gratitude for the outpouring of prayers and support, while requesting privacy as they mourn their loss. William H. Webster, a distinguished American attorney, jurist, and the only person ever to lead both the FBI and the CIA, has died at the age of 101. Born in St. Louis in 1924, he served as a U.S. Navy lieutenant during both World War II and the Korean War, before earning his law degree from Washington University. His illustrious career spanned private legal practice, service as a federal judge, and leadership at the highest levels of U.S. intelligence. Appointed FBI director by President Jimmy Carter in 1978, Webster modernized the Bureau during a period of significant political and security challenges. In 1987, President Ronald Reagan named him director of the CIA, where he guided the agency through the final years of the Cold War, serving until 1991. Later, from 2005 to 2020, he chaired the Homeland Security Advisory Council, shaping U.S. security policy for decades. Among his many honors were the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the National Security Medal, and the Distinguished Intelligence Medal. Known for his integrity, fairness, and unwavering dedication to public service, Webster is survived by his wife, Linda, and their 3 children. His legacy endures in the fields of law enforcement, intelligence, and national security, where his influence will be felt for generations. And Brent Song-Yong-Kyu, a veteran South Korean actor best known internationally for his role as Chief Choi in the 2019 blockbuster Extreme Job, has passed away at the age of 55. He was found unconscious in a parked car in Yongin on August 11th, with authorities confirming there were no signs of foul play and no suicide note discovered. Debuting on stage in 1994 with the children's musical Wizard Muro, Song went on to build a remarkable three-decade career spanning theater, film, and television. He earned acclaim for his supporting roles in Trick, Stove League, Baseball Girl, and Hyena, bringing wit, subtle emotion, and a natural authenticity to his performances. His standout portrayal in Extreme Job, one of the highest-grossing films in Korean cinema history, cemented his reputation as a distinctive and charismatic screen presence. Renowned for his professionalism and unwavering dedication, Song was deeply respected by colleagues and beloved by audiences. His sudden passing leaves a profound void in the Korean entertainment industry, where his craft, passion, and contributions will remain an enduring part of its rich storytelling legacy. Jeannie Seely, the Grammy-winning country singer and Grand Ole Opry legend, has died at the age of 85. Affectionately nicknamed Miss Country Soul for her rich, heartfelt vocals, she rose to fame with her 1966 hit Don't Touch Me, which reached number 2 on the U.S. country charts and earned her the Grammy Award for Best Country and Western Vocal Performance, Female. Over the course of her career, Seely released 17 studio albums and 36 singles, becoming one of the Opry's most enduring stars. She performed there more than 5,300 times, more than any artist in its long history. Born in Titusville, Pennsylvania, her love for country music began in childhood, listening to Opry broadcasts on her family's radio. She began singing on local radio at age 11, later moving to Los Angeles to work in the music industry before settling in Nashville, where she signed with Monument Records. In addition to her successful solo career, Seely partnered with Jack Green on popular duets such as Wish I Didn't Have to Miss You. She was also an actress and author, appearing in films, on stage, and publishing her book Pieces of a Puzzled Mind. She is survived by her loved ones and her cherished cat, Corey. The Grand Ole Opry will dedicate its next show to honoring her remarkable legacy. Loni Anderson, the beloved television star best remembered for her iconic role as Jennifer Marlowe on WKRP in Cincinnati, has died at the age of 79. She passed away on August 3rd in Los Angeles, just days shy of her 80th birthday, surrounded by 2 close family members. Born in St. Paul, Minnesota, Anderson began performing in musical theater at the age of 10, spending years in small television and film roles before her career breakthrough in 1978 with WKRP. Her portrayal of the glamorous yet quick-witted receptionist redefined female characters in sitcoms and earned her 2 Emmy nominations and 3 Golden Globe nominations. Beyond WKRP, Anderson starred in The Jane Mansfield Story, A Letter to 3 Wives, and White Hot, The Mysterious Murder of Thelma Todd, as well as comedies such as Nurses, The Mullets, and So Notorious. She also appeared in films including Stroker Ace, The Lonely Guy, and A Night at the Roxbury. Her high-profile marriage to Burt Reynolds brought additional public attention, but her decades-long career stood firmly on its own merit. A passionate advocate for COPD awareness, Anderson used her platform to champion health causes. She is survived by her husband, Bob Flick, her children, Quentin Anderson Reynolds and Deidre Hoffman, and an extended family who remember her as both a trailblazing entertainer and a devoted mother. Sally Field, born on November 6, 1946, in Pasadena, California, is one of America's most versatile and enduring actresses. Raised in a showbiz-influenced environment, Field was exposed early on to the world of performance. Her mother, Margaret Field, was an actress who appeared in numerous films during the 1940s and 1950s, and her stepfather, Jock Mahoney, was a well-known stuntman and actor. However, Sally's early life was not all glamour and spotlight. Behind the scenes, she experienced a tumultuous childhood marked by personal struggles and emotional challenges, including an abusive relationship with her stepfather and a yearning for acceptance. Field found refuge in performance. During her teenage years at Birmingham High School, she became involved in cheerleading and drama classes, both of which helped nurture her growing love for acting. After graduation, she enrolled in an acting workshop at Columbia Pictures and trained under acting teacher Jeff Corey, a respected figure in the industry. These early steps were crucial, giving her foundational experience in front of the camera and behind the scenes. Sally Field's career officially began in the 1960s with light-hearted television roles that showcased her comedic timing and charming screen presence. She first gained national attention when she starred in the sitcom Gidget, 1965 to 1966, playing a bubbly teenage surfer. Although the show only lasted one season, it established Field as a recognizable face in American households. Shortly after, she landed another starring role in The Flying Nun, 1967 to 1970, where she portrayed Sister Bertrille, a novice nun who could fly thanks to her lightweight and aerodynamic cornet. The show was a quirky success and made Field a household name. Despite her popularity, Field became increasingly disillusioned with the roles she was being offered. She feared being typecast in perky, lightweight parts that didn't allow her to demonstrate her dramatic capabilities. Determined to grow beyond these early roles, Field enrolled at the prestigious Actors Studio, where she studied under legendary acting coach Lee Strasberg. It was here that she began to challenge herself and develop a deeper, more method-based approach to performance. This period of training was transformative. When she returned to the screen, it was with a newfound intensity and maturity. In 1976, Field stunned critics and audiences alike with her portrayal of the title role in the television film Sybil, a deeply emotional performance that depicted a woman suffering from dissociative identity disorder. The role required Field to portray a range of complex personalities, and her work earned her an Emmy Award, instantly legitimizing her as a serious dramatic actress. Sally Field's early career is a story of evolution. From comedic beginnings in Gidget and The Flying Nun to the critically acclaimed transformation she underwent with Sybil, Field's journey through the entertainment industry in her early years was marked by determination, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to growth. Her ability to break free from typecasting and redefine herself as a serious actor laid the groundwork for a career that would span decades and earn her some of the highest honors in Hollywood. Sally Field's transition from a beloved television ingenue to a powerhouse of dramatic film was not just a career evolution. It was a bold act of reinvention that defined her peak years in the entertainment industry. After gaining national fame in the 1960s with roles in light-hearted sitcoms such as Gidget and The Flying Nun, Field found herself typecast and underestimated in Hollywood. But the 1970s and 1980s would mark the period where she not only shattered those limitations, but also soared to critical and commercial acclaim, solidifying her legacy as one of the most versatile and respected actresses of her generation. The turning point came in 1976 when Field starred in the television film Sybil, portraying a woman with dissociative identity disorder. The role was a radical departure from her previous work and served as an acting masterclass. Her harrowing, emotionally layered performance won her an Emmy Award and convinced both audiences and producers that she was capable of tackling deeply complex material. Sybil wasn't just a hit, it was a revelation, signaling Field's metamorphosis into a serious dramatic actress. Building on this momentum, Field went on to deliver what would become one of the most iconic performances of her career in Norma Rae, 1979. Playing a Southern textile worker who becomes a union organizer, Field immersed herself in the character's grit, passion, and determination. Her performance earned her the Academy Award for Best Actress, and one of the most quoted acceptance speeches in Oscar history, where she famously declared, "You like me right now, you like me." Although often misquoted and parodied, that moment was emblematic of her long struggle for validation as a serious performer. Field's career continued to ascend in the early 1980s with a string of acclaimed performances. In 1984, she won her second Academy Award for Places in the Heart, a poignant film about a widowed mother struggling to keep her family farm during the Great Depression. Field's sensitive and grounded portrayal once again underscored her skill at bringing authenticity and emotional nuance to her characters. That same year, she was nominated for a Golden Globe for her role in Kiss Me Goodbye, showing her deft ability to move between drama and romantic comedy. In addition to her film work, Field made waves with her performance in Steel Magnolias, 1989, an ensemble drama that allowed her to explore the themes of motherhood, grief, and resilience. Surrounded by powerhouse co-stars like Julia Roberts, Dolly Parton, and Shirley MacLaine, Field's portrayal of Emmeline, a mother coping with the loss of her daughter, remains one of the most heart-wrenching performances in her career. The film became a cultural touchstone and further reinforced her status as a master of emotional depth. During her peak years, Field also demonstrated her directing skills. She directed the TV movie The Christmas Tree, 1996, and made her feature film directorial debut with Beautiful, 2000. Although her directing work received mixed reviews, it showcased her desire to explore storytelling from multiple creative angles and not be confined solely to acting. Beyond her acting achievements, Field emerged as a vocal advocate for social issues, including women's rights and LGBTQ+ equality. Her activism added depth to her public image, presenting her as both a star and a citizen, deeply engaged with the world around her. In sum, the peak of Sally Field's career was marked not only by critical acclaim and industry recognition, but also by her ability to defy expectations and redefine herself. With 2 Academy Awards, an Emmy, and countless memorable performances under her belt, Field transcended the limits once placed on her and carved out a place in film and television history as a woman of formidable talent, courage, and authenticity. While Sally Field's career has often been defined by her remarkable talent and versatility, it has also been punctuated by periods of profound struggle, personal crisis, and public controversy. Beneath the surface of her professional success lay a woman grappling with internal battles, the pressures of Hollywood, and deeply rooted personal trauma. One of the most significant challenges in Field's life was her ongoing struggle for artistic respect and legitimacy. In her early years, despite being beloved as the bubbly Gidget and the spirited flying nun, she was often typecast and dismissed as a lightweight TV actress. Hollywood's refusal to take her seriously left a lasting scar on her self-esteem and pushed her into a relentless pursuit of roles that would prove her worth. Her transformation from sitcom darling to Oscar-winning dramatic actress was not an easy path. It was paved with rejection, harsh criticism, and industry condescension. Privately, Field was also navigating personal turmoil. She has spoken candidly about the sexual abuse she suffered at the hands of her stepfather, Jock Mahoney, a trauma she kept hidden for decades. In her 2018 memoir In Pieces, Field revealed how this abuse deeply affected her sense of identity, relationships, and self-worth. The decision to share this painful truth was not only courageous, but also a radical act of reclaiming her narrative. Yet it also sparked public debate and brought attention to the long-overlooked issue of abuse within families, particularly in the lives of public figures. Her romantic relationships, too, brought both personal strife and public attention. Perhaps the most talked about was her relationship with actor Burt Reynolds, a passionate but tumultuous bond that lasted several years. While Reynolds later referred to Field as the love of his life, she described their relationship as emotionally damaging, claiming he was controlling and dismissive of her ambitions. Their eventual breakup left Field emotionally drained, but also more resolved to stand on her own terms as a woman and an artist. In addition, Field's fierce advocacy for women's rights and progressive politics occasionally placed her at the center of controversy. Her outspoken views on feminism, reproductive rights, and social justice sometimes attracted backlash, especially from more conservative audiences. However, Field remained steadfast, using her platform to speak out on issues she cared deeply about, even when it risked her popularity. One of the most painful professional crises Field faced came in the early 2000s, when strong roles for women of a certain age began to dwindle. The industry that once celebrated her now seemed to forget her, as ageism and sexism converged to push many accomplished actresses to the margins. For a time, Field struggled to find meaningful work, and even began to doubt whether she had a place in modern Hollywood. Yet, even in these moments of doubt and despair, Sally Field showed remarkable resilience. The crises she endured, both personal and professional, shaped her into the powerful, empathetic, and fearless figure that audiences respect today. Rather than allowing controversy or pain to define her, she harnessed them as fuel for growth and transformation. Sally Field's life is not simply a tale of fame and success, but a testament to endurance, truth-telling, and the power of reclaiming one's voice, even after it has been silenced for too long. Following periods of personal turmoil and professional uncertainty, Sally Field's journey of resurgence marked one of the most inspiring chapters in her life and career. Despite setbacks including industry typecasting and deeply personal struggles, Field refused to be defined by limitations. Instead, she harnessed her resilience, re-emerging with renewed depth, purpose, and artistic credibility that elevated her status from TV ingenue to one of Hollywood's most respected actresses. The turning point in her professional renaissance came with the film Places in the Heart, 1984, a role that required emotional vulnerability and fierce determination. As Edna Spaulding, a widow striving to save her farm during the Great Depression, Field gave a performance brimming with authenticity and grace. The role earned her a second Academy Award for Best Actress and effectively shattered the lingering stereotypes that had once confined her. This Oscar win solidified Field's return, not just as a capable actress, but as a powerhouse performer. Her iconic acceptance speech, "You like me, right now, you like me," was often misunderstood and mocked for its emotional candor. However, it was a reflection of years of rejection and self-doubt, making the moment deeply human. Field later clarified that the speech came from a place of surprise and gratitude, not arrogance. In many ways, this candid moment only added to her relatability and endeared her to the public even more. Beyond her acting resurgence, the 1990s and early 2000s brought new opportunities that showcased her versatility. She starred in Steel Magnolias, 1989, where her portrayal of Emmeline, a grieving mother navigating the loss of her daughter, was hauntingly powerful. Later roles in Mrs. Doubtfire, 1993, and Forrest Gump, 1994, introduced her to a new generation of audiences. As Forrest's mother, she became immortalized in one of cinema's most memorable maternal roles. Field's ability to transition seamlessly between drama and comedy further illustrated her range and magnetic presence on screen. During this time, Sally Field also made bold strides behind the camera. She directed the made-for-TV film The Christmas Tree, 1996, and later, the feature film Beautiful, 2000. Though the latter received mixed reviews, it marked Field's courageous step into directing, a testament to her artistic evolution and commitment to storytelling in all its forms. In the 2000s, Field tackled television with the same fervor she brought to film. Her performance as Nora Walker in the drama series Brothers and Sisters, 2006 to 2011, was met with acclaim, earning her an Emmy Award. The role allowed her to channel her own experiences as a mother and matriarch, lending authenticity to the complex and often painful family dynamics portrayed on screen. Field's comeback was not only professional but deeply personal. She became a vocal advocate for women's rights, LGBTQ+ equality, and mental health awareness. Her candid discussions about her own struggles with depression and self-worth inspired countless others to seek help and embrace their vulnerabilities. Field's activism was never performative. It stemmed from lived experience and a genuine desire to make the world better. In 2012, she once again amazed critics with her role as Mary Todd Lincoln in Steven Spielberg's Lincoln. Playing opposite Daniel Day-Lewis, Field immersed herself in the layered emotions of a First Lady tormented by grief and political turbulence. Her performance earned her yet another Oscar nomination and reminded audiences of her enduring power as a dramatic actress. Sally Field's comeback was not sudden or effortless. It was built over years of persistence, courage, and an unwavering belief in her craft. She redefined what it means to age in Hollywood, refusing to be marginalized or silenced. Instead, she re-emerged as a voice of wisdom, strength, and integrity, proving that reinvention is possible at any age. Her memoir, In Pieces, 2018, served as a final act of reclamation. In it, Field opened up about the abuse she had suffered, her complicated relationship with her mother, and her lifelong search for self-acceptance. Vulnerable and fearless, The book cemented her status not just as a legendary performer, but as a survivor, a woman who took control of her own narrative and, in doing so, inspired others to do the same. Sally Field's journey back was not simply about reclaiming fame, it was about reclaiming herself. Through artistry, activism, and authenticity, she transformed her pain into power and emerged as one of the most beloved figures in American entertainment. Sally Field's legacy in American cinema and television transcends her impressive body of work. It is deeply rooted in her transformative impact on the perception of women in entertainment, her activism, and her commitment to authentic storytelling. From her earliest roles as a bubbly ingenue to her later portrayals of complex, multifaceted women, Field's career has left an indelible mark on generations of audiences, performers, and social advocates alike. One of Field's most significant contributions to the industry is the way she defied typecasting. After early fame in light-hearted television roles such as Gidget and The Flying Nun, Field was often dismissed as a lightweight performer. However, through determination and a deep passion for the craft, she shattered those perceptions with powerful, award-winning performances in Sybil, 1976, Norma Rae, 1979, and Places in the Heart, 1984. These roles not only won her critical acclaim, including 2 Academy Awards for Best Actress, but also demonstrated that women could carry emotionally complex, socially relevant films. Her role in Norma Rae is especially emblematic of her lasting legacy. Playing a factory worker who becomes a labor union activist, Field gave voice to the working-class American woman in a way that was raw, defiant, and human. The image of her standing on a table holding a sign reading "Union" remains one of the most iconic moments in film history. The performance won her an Oscar and became a cultural touchstone for working women's empowerment. Beyond the screen, Field used her platform to champion a wide range of social causes. She has been a tireless advocate for women's rights, LGBTQ+ equality, and mental health awareness. Her emotional honesty, on camera and off, has been a guiding light for others in the entertainment world, especially young actors looking for role models who exemplify integrity and courage. Her advocacy for her gay son, as well as her candid discussions about childhood abuse and struggles with self-esteem, added depth to her public image and solidified her status as a trailblazer for honesty in Hollywood. Sally Field's directorial efforts also reflect her desire to create space for untold stories. Her 2000 film Beautiful, though not a commercial hit, was a bold attempt to examine the pressures and contradictions faced by women seeking fame and acceptance. Her stage work, particularly her acclaimed performance in The Glass Menagerie on Broadway, reinforced her versatility and commitment to the craft of acting in all its forms. Moreover, Field's influence is evident in the generations of actresses who cite her as a role model. Stars such as Reese Witherspoon, Julia Roberts, and Laura Dern have all spoken of her warmth, wisdom, and strength. Witherspoon, who worked with Field in Legally Blonde 2, referred to her as an artist who paved the way for women to be fearless in their choices. Indeed, Field helped redefine what success could look like for female performers, proving that reinvention, vulnerability, and a fighting spirit could coexist in one remarkable career. In recognition of her lifetime of achievements, Field was honored with the Kennedy Center Honors in 2019, a crowning moment that celebrated her contributions to American culture. Her acceptance speech, full of humility and gratitude, highlighted her enduring belief in the power of storytelling to change hearts and minds. As Sally Field continues to work, whether in acting, directing, or advocacy, her influence grows more enduring. She has carved out a space not only as a beloved performer, but also as a truth-teller, a trailblazer, and a symbol of resilience. Her legacy is not merely in the awards she has won or the roles she has played, but in the way she has inspired others to speak out, to endure, and to find strength in vulnerability. While Sally Field's professional accomplishments are vast and her resilience widely admired, her life has not been without profound sorrow. Among the many emotional trials she has faced, the most enduring and private grief has stemmed from her complex personal relationships, particularly with her parents, her children, and with the late Burt Reynolds, a man she once loved deeply. One of the deepest sorrows in Field's life was her troubled relationship with her stepfather, actor and stuntman Jock Mahoney. In her 2018 memoir, In Pieces, Field courageously revealed that Mahoney had sexually abused her during her childhood and adolescence. The revelation stunned many of her fans, not only because it was heartbreaking, but because it had remained a private wound for so long. Her mother, actress Margaret Field, married Mahoney when Sally was still a young girl, and while Sally loved her mother, she wrestled with the anger and confusion of feeling unprotected. Coming forward with this truth, decades later, was not only a moment of personal reckoning for Field, but also a testament to her strength in confronting the darkest chapters of her past. The loss of her mother in 2011 was another poignant sorrow. Despite the strain that had existed between them due to the abuse Sally endured, her mother had always been a complex, central figure in her life. Their relationship, fraught yet deeply rooted in love, went through waves of reconciliation and emotional distance. Field's grief was complicated, mourning not only the woman who raised her, but also the dreams of healing and closure that would now remain unfulfilled. In Pieces, Field reflects on how she wished for more time, more understanding, and perhaps more acknowledgement from her mother. This lingering emotional ache became a quiet, enduring sorrow. Sally Field also experienced heartache in her romantic life, most notably in her on-again, off-again relationship with actor Burt Reynolds. Though Reynolds often referred to Field as the love of his life, their relationship was far from ideal. Field described it as controlling and emotionally draining, recounting how Reynolds undermined her sense of independence. Despite the painful memories, his death in 2018 stirred a complex grief. She mourned the man she had once loved, but also the version of herself that had been lost during that turbulent time. Her sorrow was laced with unresolved emotions, regrets, and compassion for a man whose love was both deeply felt and deeply flawed. Perhaps most enduringly, Field has always been deeply attached to her children, and like any parent, she has faced the agonies of watching them struggle. Though she's been largely private about the specific hardships they may have faced, it's clear in her interviews and writings that her children are the heart of her world. Her fears, her sacrifices, and her relentless pursuit of stability and love were often centered around them. The emotional toll of balancing a high-profile career with motherhood, of constantly worrying if she was doing enough or being enough, has stayed with her. The vulnerability of motherhood, with all its guilt and worry, has been another quiet sorrow threading through her life. In the end, Sally Field's greatest sorrows are not those of public scandal or tabloid sensationalism, but of the deeply human kind: the loss of innocence, the ache for parental connection, the grief of unresolved love, and the quiet pain of watching loved ones suffer. Yet these very sorrows have also shaped her artistry. They have imbued her performances with extraordinary depth and sincerity. Her ability to connect with audiences across generations is in part because she has lived the complexities of life, its joys, its wounds, its sorrows, and has never shied away from revealing those truths through her work.